What's going on, YouTube? Zero Lead here, and I'm back again with a new video. Episode 54 of the Disco Era u.s.s Enterprise tutorial. I just want to thank you very much for tuning into today's video, and if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me and supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for doing that for me. Today we've got a couple of things to work on. We're going to be continuing our work on our engineering room, on our main deck, and lower deck 2 of engineering. And right now what I'm going to be doing specifically is going in every single corner in this room surrounding our warp core. I'm going to be deleting a foundation in the floor. And the reason for that is basically in each corner we've got two pillars going at an angle. I want to continue these pillars. I want them to transition down into the lower deck. So this way when we go down there, it's going to have that structural integrity basically that will transition from one deck to the next. That's basically the idea behind it. It's not going to be the exact same design, but there's going to be elements that transfer over with it. And, you know, I think that consistency from deck to deck definitely helps in keeping your ship a little bit more realistic. And you can see I'm just continuing our wall from above. That's why I deleted that block in the roof so I could see exactly where I need to build this from. And the room that we're specifically in now, the lower engineering deck, this is where Spock dies at the end of Star Trek II. And when I talk about doing my interiors on my ships, you'll often hear me say, you know, focus on the moments. This is one of these things where I'm talking about, you know, if you focus on moments that appeared in either the movies or the TV show, it's going to help to bring your ship to life. Because when people are going through your ship, they're going to be thinking, like in this case, hey, where's that room that Spock went into to save the Enterprise? You know, so this is just one of those many things that we're adding into our ship, you know, making sure to add that attention to detail. It's going to help bring our ship to life just a little bit more, and it'll help set our ship apart a little bit more from the others. All right, perfect. So we have our 4 pillars in place. We're not going to be doing too much down here. Let's go back up on the main deck. We're going to close on our roof now, so we don't need this to be open anymore. As you guys can see, I took a couple of days off from putting episodes out on the Disco Era Enterprise. I'm trying to get a little bit of different content out for you guys as much as I can without burning myself out. But I'm definitely, at this point, I'm prepping up to do my next build. I don't want to say what it's going to be until I actually start building it, but it'll either be Voyager or the Enterprise D. But I'm trying to get that started either this coming weekend or the following weekend. Depending on how I feel. This way I have enough content going that once we're done with the Disco Enterprise, we can just transition into that next build. Because my main goal here is to keep content going for you guys Monday through Friday for Minecraft. I talked about in one of my previous videos on Starship Evo, I'm going to be slightly switching up my schedule for Minecraft. Instead of having videos Monday through Saturday, I'm going to be having videos released now Monday through Friday. And the reason I want to do that is this way I can essentially have the weekend off to either have a little bit more time to work on a build, but then also to take a short break if I want to. And I had a couple of Saturdays here and there where I either didn't get a video out or didn't get out until really late in the afternoon. And I want to try to stay as consistent as I possibly can. So I think that Monday through Friday is more than likely going to be the best bet. Now that could change in the future to Tuesday through Friday. Just so this way Mondays would be reserved for Starship Evo. But as of right now, I want to try to keep putting videos out on Monday for Minecraft when I can also. But regardless, Mondays will always have a new video out. And for sure, Tuesdays through Friday, I'll have videos out for Minecraft. Definitely a lot of stuff to come. I've been having a lot of people comment in the comment section on builds that they want to see me do. I've had a couple people recently ask me if I'm ever going to do a tutorial on ships that I've done in the past, like the 2009 Enterprise or the Starship Vengeance. That is something that I think that I do want to do at some point, But I think right now, I really want to focus on getting different builds out for you guys, so I don't have just a YouTube channel full of the same build. I think I can get away with a lot of doing the different enterprises because the enterprises, they vary from ship to ship. And, ultimately, I want to try to get as many views as I possibly can on my channel for these builds. That's not to say that I won't do a build regardless. Like, even one of my builds on Minecraft before I did this one, the Kelvin. The Kelvin wasn't super popular, but I really enjoyed building that ship, and I don't regret it in the least. I would have done it again, basically. So, I mean, basically what I'm saying is, drop a comment below if there's something that you guys want to see me do. But if I don't do it right away, don't get discouraged with it. More than likely, I will probably pan back to it because ultimately I'm going to need content to keep this thing going. And when I'm between builds trying to figure out what I'm going to do, I'm always looking in the comment section, seeing what my top requests are, and looking and thinking, okay, based on those top requests, what can I get passionate about doing? Um, I do want to jump briefly back into what I'm doing here. You can see that we're on our main engineering deck, and on our walkways on the side, I'm kind of like adding computer consoles. Um, Now, ultimately, I am going to change this, but um, I wanted to show this in the video because, one, this gives you an idea of a way that you can do your engineering bay, and two, we're going to have to transition from this to the uh, final change that we make to it, and I don't want to skip steps for people. So I'm really trying to make a point to release every single part of my build, uh, regardless if we have to slightly backtrack or not. But I don't think this is actually a bad thing because, again, I talk about this all the time. There's no set way in doing your interior on these ships because there's no set blueprints in place. You can take a lot of liberties with them, and what I'm doing here is not set in stone. You can make variations of this. Eventually, when I change this and I go to the different, when I slightly change this room again, if you don't like that, you can keep what you have now, or make any other changes. It's pretty much up to your imagination and what you want to do. Um, but I think that what I've got going on here with these different blocks definitely gives a great sense of there being computer consoles in this room. Some of these new blocks that they added in Minecraft, I mean, they really help sell it. And I have a lot of these blocks actually, in fact, on my Enterprise A too, which is the main reason why I brought them over. Now, I know that when we come back into this room and we make changes to it, I'm ultimately going to take those fancy blocks out and just replace them with a flat color. And the reason why I decided to do that is because I'm trying to stay with the whole retro feel of a little bit more of a simplistic design. I feel like the simplicity fits the TOS era a little bit better than the sparkling glamour of more of the modern movies. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like my thought process behind it. But still, regardless, this is kind of give you guys some ideas, different things that you can do. So we're going on a little bit of a rant here, but I mean, it's a lot of information to cover. I'm trying to give as much as I possibly can to these tutorials, and I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying these videos as much as I've enjoyed making them because uh, I've been actually getting a lot of new subscribers lately. I can't believe it. We're already up to 430 subscribers, well on our way to 1,000 and beyond. And that's 100% due to you guys, and I cannot thank you enough for that. And definitely have more content to come, tons of more content. The best is yet to come on this channel. You can see, I'm doing my videos now on Starship Evo 2, and I want to keep it, like I said, to building videos that you guys like, and that's why I've been focusing right now on Minecraft and Starship Evo. And I'm moving away from doing ARC videos because based on what I'm seeing on my channel and what you guys are watching, these are the videos that you guys watch, and you like. From what I'm getting, that you really like when I do these videos on my starships. So that's kind of what I've been trying to focus on. But again, if there's anything else you want to see me build, doesn't necessarily have to be Starship related. It can be anything nerd related in general. Drop a comment below. You never know. Might be interested in doing it. And You can see here I'm just adding a little bit of extra detail here and there, different switches that we can get. Um, looking to see what different carpets I might want to use. Uh, because I'm probably going to take this black carpet and run it along the top part of the railing up here. We can also do it right here to make the console look black. But problem with this is that it doesn't look too clean to me with having the buttons along here. So that again is going to be one of the reasons why on my ship that is this going to be anywhere that there's that there should be like paneling that you can touch. It's just going to be carpeting, just to keep it, that simplistic look. If you guys had actually checked out my Federation corridors tutorial, I had a slight sneak peek where for about maybe 2 or 3 seconds you could see what the new engineering bay looks like. But it's very retro, and it's not. It's essentially the same design what we got going on here, but just slightly different. I really just changed a couple of things, and I also added my airlocks to come into the ship from the engineering bay, um, which we'll get into that. Excuse me. See, we got a little bit of room down here. Trying to get an idea of what I want to do. Now we're down in the base of our warp core, not on the bottom deck. We're on engineering deck 2, going down. So again, this would be the room where Spock perished in Star Trek 2, and I'm pretty much just looking for a type of block that I can have to highlight going around the warp core at the bottom. What I could end up using maybe is like an anvil, um, and we can make like a crosshair to almost simulate like it's a pipe. Because if you lay the anvils down side by side, looking down at them, it does kind of look like a pipe. All right, let's get rid of this extra blocks that we have going around the bottom of this. See, just by switching that cauldron, then we have the end rod. That makes it come to life a little bit better than what we had. I like that. That looks pretty good. There we go. Let's grab an anvil. Yeah, that cauldron maybe looks a little bit better down there. So what we're going to do down here, we're at the very bottom, we're going to basically make a cross underneath here. And the reason that we're doing this is because we're going to go back above one deck after we're done, and then we're going to delete the blocks that are right above this, so this way we can add a row of anvils. This will again give like the impression, kind of make it look as close as we can make it look to an actual pipe. I think that actually looks pretty good. We're rocking. We're got about 11 minutes left in this episode. Still got a couple of things to do. I haven't had too many requests on what you guys want to see with the interior, because I have not completed my interior 100%. I mean, obviously, there's been rooms I've had on my checklist that um, I intended to build, but I'm curious to see if there's any room specifically that you guys would be interested that you want me to build. If there are, make sure to drop a comment below. I currently have that we've let's first go down the list of what we've built so far. On our interior, we've built our bridge and we've built our shuttle bay and our engineering, and we've also built the transporter room. Um, Yet to come is the medical bay, and then also the bowling alley, uh, and then admiral's quarters, and then captain's quarters, and then uh, junior officers' quarters, and then general crew quarters. Um, One thing that is different about this Enterprise, like opposed to the Enterprise D, is that the general crew quarters, like, not everybody has their own room on the Enterprise. Not this version of it. The general crew quarters, like, they share, like, they have bunks, like you would have, like, on an aircraft carrier. So that's kind of cool. We can definitely do that, but I mean, if there's anything else specifically that you guys might want to see that either I'm not thinking of, make sure to let me know, because I definitely I'm interested to see what you guys want at this point, because I don't want to end this series too soon before we finish it, but at the same time, I don't want to keep this going past its welcome. In other words, for the Disco Air Enterprise, I want to, show what we need to show, and then after that, move on to the next build. But at the same time, we don't have to do every single room for room. At this point, I'm just trying to play it by ear and see, how I'm feeling as I'm going with this, and seeing how people have been responding to it. So far, it's been pretty good. I've been noticing that the recent videos are taking a little bit longer to pick up traction, but the older videos, they have, they're getting in the the triple digits at this point, which is awesome. So if you guys are going back and watching the episodes again, I really appreciate that as well. You can see I'm just adding another row along here on our warp core in the bottom with the hash slabs, just trying to do a little bit of detail. Um, When I'm adding around here, I don't think I'm going to keep this. So I was thinking that maybe I could just make a room around here, but at the same time, we brought these pillars down in the beginning of the episode because this was going to be pretty much our order or indicators for our walls going to go for our second level of our warp core. So this ring that we just added, we're going to get rid of that. But sometimes, it's good just to throw something down and take a look at it. You don't really know if you want to keep it until you add it. So I'm going 3 up. On the third one, I'm adding a block. And then we're going to do that on every side. I'm thinking that maybe we could like build this up at an angle, um, like to have like an archway at every single turn, and then like in the center here, it can be like sealed off with glass. That could look pretty cool. Um, but this room might need a second pass at it, just to get it, completely a little bit more on par than how it was in the Wrath of Khan anyway. But what I'm doing right now, I'm pretty much kind of trying to replicate what we've got directly above us. The only difference is that we won't really be able to freely walk in this center room here. For this, you can do, blue stained glass. You could do red stained glass. I would definitely pick a color for the glass if you're going to close this in with one of them, because especially with the TOS Enterprise, they were very. It was a very colorful ship on the interior, um, especially when in the quarters. I remember vivid oranges and greens and reds, almost like a Christmas tree. Funny enough, I mean they use Christmas tree lighting for their sets because they had a budget of $50 and a bag of Twinkies when they made the TOS Star Trek. But no, I mean at the same time that's cool because having all these extra colors to play with, I think it's going to help to make our ship pop a little bit more, as opposed to like the Enterprise A, for example. The Enterprise A is a very white in color ship. Um, white is its primary, and I would say that other than the white, you're going to highlight it with blue is probably your next go-to, and then maybe reds here and there. But the primary one that you're going to use for that ship would be white. All right, so you can see now that just trying to play with a pattern here, not really dedicating, committing to anything as of yet is what I meant to say. Just trying to play around here and come up with a pattern that might really look good. Don't know if we want to have these windows here up on the sides. Maybe we just really need that on the front, but it may not look bad. 'Cause at the same time, we spend all this time building up this warp core to have it come down here. It would be a shame to cover it all up, um, which is kind of what I'm getting at here. You can see I'm trying to build this in a way to where even if you don't walk into this room, you could still see this beautiful structure. All right, and we're jamming. You can see on the back side, I use white concrete because, I mean, there's no point in having glass in the very back, because that is the one side that you're probably going to spend the least amount of time on. If you look at this thing, it's going to be from this side of the room. So that's really what we want to focus on. Maybe we'll bring these walls up one more from the outside. And the reason I'm doing this because we'll make a cut. We'll delete the inner walls. So this way we have walkways to go in there. Now we can do this in the back just to continue with the pattern to make sure that all four sides are the same. But we don't need 4 entry points. We don't even necessarily need 2. I think more than 2 is overkill for this. And again, we're going to get rid of the middle 2 on this side. Right, perfect. And a block up there. Let's do the same thing on this side, right there in the middle. Perfect. We're not, though we're not going to open these up. We'll still put a block each side, so this way all 4 sides are exactly the same. Now I think I put the iron door here, but I ended up taking it down because I can't get it to do exactly what I want it to do. And I think ultimately the what we'll have to do is just put a red block here and call it a day. And if you want to walk in this room, you'll have to more than likely at that point delete it because we don't have enough room above us or below us to put um, automatic doors in to open this up. Or if you don't want to close it up like I'm about to do here with the red, you can just leave it open. But that red block there definitely simulates that is an entry point. Do the half slabs going across the top, just kind of to detail it up just a little bit. And that those subtle changes right there, that doesn't look half bad actually. I think what maybe would even look better, um, now that I'm looking at it, and I don't do it in this video, but to take these half slabs and just bring it straight across, and to get rid of this top row here of the glass, and that I think that would be a nice trim. That I think that would look great actually. I'm gonna have to go back on and make that change actually because I mean now that I'm thinking about it, that would look really good. I need to remember that. You can see I'm adding a row of yellow. Want to have a gap of the dark gray in between the yellow and our glass. And the reason I'm doing this yellow is just to simulate that this is pretty much like a hazard line, like to not cross this line, in other words. That looks pretty good. All right, I hopped out of that just a little too quick before we wrap this one up. If this video decides to pick back up where it's supposed to. All right. So we got a lot done today. I think that looks pretty solid. Other than making this change that I just thought of to have this half slab coming straight across and getting rid of this row of the glass, I think this room is really starting to shape up. Um, it's definitely, hopefully, when people come down here, um, they'll realize, oh, this is where Spock has to go to save the ship. But you never know. I may have to go back and watch Wrath of Khan again just to get some more screenshots of that room to maybe try to bring this together a little bit more. But we're getting there, and we'll keep going until I'm happy with it. But anyway, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for me. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm trying to again keep the content going and give you guys as much information as I possibly can on this tutorial. Um, I'm trying to commit to building this ship from beginning to end. So if there's any questions that you have, if I'm not being specific enough, drop a comment below. If you get stuck on something, try to do what I can to help. If there's any builds that you guys want to see me do, drop a comment below. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow for episode 55. And in fact, you can always catch new episodes Monday through Friday. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. I just want to thank you again, and I will catch you guys on the next video, and I hope everybody stays safe and has a great rest of their day.